Hello there.
I'm Pickle Rick!
Let's do it, guys! Right. It's morphin' time!
Avengers! Assemble.
What's up, guys? Brennan back here, and today I have another episode of Geek Culture Talk on the channel. And today we're reviewing the latest DC film, The Suicide Squad. So, yes, this is going to be hopefully a pretty short review. I'm pretty sure it will be a short review because I really have I have nothing but praise, honestly, for this movie. Like, just a lot of praise for this film. So it came out a couple weeks ago by this point now. So about like, I think 2.5 weeks by this point of me recording this. So, but this film is to put it simply, this film is a amazing, beautiful, messed up, action-packed, hilarious movie. It's that kind of movie. Like, it's all that just combined. Like, it's James Gunn at probably some of his finest, honestly. Like, before I go more deeper into the film for my review, let me say my thoughts on the original Suicide Squad. I thought the original Suicide Squad was not good. Like, I remember when I first watched it, I was like, I think I liked it, or I didn't like it. Like, honestly, I had no real thought on the movie. Like, I'm not sure what I'm saying. I didn't like it at all. I can't really describe what I thought of it when I first saw it. Like, after I left the theater, after watching it, I was like, that wasn't great. Like, over time now, I'm more so like, yeah, I don't like it at all. Like, as I see more like reviews and videos about the film, I look at it and I'm like, man, this film looks awful. Like, it looks terrible. It looks like crap. Like, just the visuals and like the cinematography and set and costume design all looks like crap. There's a lot of other problems in that film. It's a movie I've never had desire to revisit at all. Not even the extended cut. I've never seen the extended cut. To my knowledge, only adds like 5 minutes to the movie. No point. Why is the extended cut then? But I was very interested in seeing how this one was going to do, because it was James Gunn. You know, he had massive success with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Those movies are great. So he's a very logical choice to do the Suicide Squad, a film about a group of ragtag villains who are very lesser known in the comics. Very much like a Guardians of the Galaxy kind of thing, but of course they're villains. And it's amazing, honestly. It's just, like I said at the beginning, it's like hilarious, messed up, beautiful. It's so incredible, honestly. Like, I think I like this. I'm not sure if it's my favorite of Gunn's films. Like, my favorite so far was still Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. It's like in my top 10 MCU films for sure. But I don't know, this one is really great. Like, honestly, this is some of the best of the recent slate of DC films there. It's really great. And, like, honestly, like, I just gotta give James Gunn credit. Like, he managed to, like, it's amazing how he takes these lesser-known characters, a lot of characters who are just looked at as stupid and jokes, and makes them, like, interesting characters. I found every character in this movie interesting. One of them was the Polka Dot Man, for God's sakes. Like, he is, like, one of the most devious villains you could possibly find in the comics. He's one of the most ridiculous concepts. Like, way back in the 40s he was created. He's such a ridiculous and dumb character. And James Gunn said, I'm going to test you on that and see if I can make him an interesting character. And he did. I liked Polka Dot Man. Like I said, I liked all the characters in this movie. And I won't go into spoilers just yet. I'll be a bit more general and not talk about spoilers just yet. I'll say that's like a little bit later on in the video. But I loved all the characters. They were all great. You know, all of our new characters, they were all awesome. I love Idris Elba's Bloodsport. He was a very compelling and funny character. You know, John Cena was great as Peacemaker. John Cena was always one of those actors or like wrestlers. I always made jokes saying, John Cena, not a good actor. Like, why is he here? Like, I made those kind of jokes because I don't know, it was back in the day when that big meme of John Cena was going around, the John Cena, that thing. So I always kind of mocked and joked about him being an actor in movies. But in the last few years, after seeing him in stuff like Bumblebee and Fast 9, and now also this, like, I really like him, actually. He's a very good actor, so, like, and this role, like, fits him so well. He's really great in this film. And, like, everyone else in the movie is just fantastic. Like David Dastmalchian, that's fancy to pronounce his name, who he voice cracked, who plays Polka Dot Man, like I said. He's great. Like, they gave him an interesting backstory, and, like, they actually gave a more, like, realistic ability for him to call himself the Polka Dot Man. Before, it was always just, like, he would take a polka dot off his chest, off his costume, throw it, and it'd be like a flaming disc or a portal or just a puddle of water or something like that. But, like, now it's like he shoots them out of this, like, band that controls them on his wrist, or helps control them on his body. And, like, they kind of just disintegrate your body, and, like, it melts it, like, it's messed up. And, like, also, his powers, because it's also a disease that hurts him, because, like, every now and then his body will swell up with, like, spots and, like, or polka dots, and, like, he has to, after a while, like, expel them, and, like, every 2 days, I think that's what he said, every 2 days, he has to expel them. And, and seeing his existence of, like, when his body does swell up with those polka dots looks painful, definitely, for sure. So there's that. Ratcatcher 2 is also a very fun, innocent character. Like, again, another major D-list villain. And not even that long ago, before I saw this film, I read a comic, like, from Batman Detective Comics, where it was, like, recent run from last few years ago, where this one other villain called the Killer Moth, where he assembled a group of, like, lesser known, not that intimidating or powerful villains, and, like, here's my group of villains who will take down the Bat and his allies. And one of them was a Ratcatcher, and, like, I think the scene in question was, like, Batwoman and Tim Drake Robin were stalking them, and Batwoman's like, I didn't think the Ratcatcher. No, it was like Tim Drake was saying something like how, I'm not surprised Ratcatcher's here, like, he always, like, just joins these kind of things because he has nothing else better to do. Which is, like, it's sad but funny, so I liked that a lot, so that was pretty cool. And she was great in this film. She was Ratcatcher 2, to be specific. She was played by, grab her name up here, where is it? Daniela Melchior, however you pronounce that. Yeah, she was great. She was the second Ratcatcher. Her, of course, which also, I like how they even refer to her in the film as the Ratcatcher 2, because it's a thing in the comics a lot of time, where there's, like, multiple versions of one villain. Like, there's been, like, 3 or 4 Clayfaces in the comics, so, like, and they refer to them as, here's Clayface 2 and 3, so I like that they actually referred to her as, Ratcatcher 2. I thought that was cool. And, her father was Taika Waititi. He played the original Ratcatcher, which I thought was, like, a fun little casting choice there to have him play that character. But all the other new characters, like, King Shark is a big standout, highlight new character. Like, he's a fun, adorable character, voiced by Sylvester Stallone, which is just, like, amazing performance by him. It's just, his voice works so well for that character. Like, there's been multiple incarnations of King Shark in the last few years in a lot of things. This is definitely the best one. He's just, like, he's threatening and violent, but also, not really threatening, he's, like, violent when he gets into a fight, but he's also just adorable. He's like a child, honestly. He's really great. I love him. Bunch of other great new characters and such. And, like, also Peter Capaldi as the Thinker, who's a villain of The Flash, he was on Flash Season 4. He was not great on that show. He's better in this film than he was in The Flash. I liked him a lot also. And, of course, also a bunch of, returning characters as well from the first movie. There's, of course, Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn, she's great as always. Honestly, I really dug Harley in this movie. Like, honestly, for the last few years, I haven't been too into Harley as a character. Like, I feel like I just haven't liked a lot of the storylines they've done for her, a couple things. Like, I didn't like how she was written much in the first Suicide Squad. I was not a fan of Birds of Prey either. Like, I liked it more in the first Suicide Squad, but I still did not like that movie. So I wasn't really a fan. I thought Margot Robbie was a great casting of Harley. I just didn't think a lot of stuff they'd done with her in the films was great. This year, I really enjoyed her here, honestly. I thought she was funny, and she was, like, interesting and compelling. She was great here. And, like, honestly, like, it's probably one of my favorite, like, recent things with Harley in certain things, so I thought it was great here, honestly. So, leave it to James Gunn to actually make me give me a Harley Quinn related thing that I actually really like. So, good on you, James Gunn. But yeah, she's great in this, and a couple of the other returning characters were also great. Like Joel Kinnaman's back as Rick Flag. He's also much better in this movie. He's much more interesting and compelling. Like, Viola Davis back as Amanda Waller. She actually feels like a proper threat. Like, I don't really remember that being that feel that intimidated by her in the first film. Here you really feel being intimidated by her as a character. She's like, definitely shows how she's not screwing around when it comes to this business, so it's pretty great. And also, Jai Courtney's back as Captain Boomerang, who, I'll say it was one thing, I'm not a big fan of Jai Courtney, because, like, I watched him in Terminator Genesis, which is not a good film, and I did not like him at all in that film. He was whiny and annoying, I hate him. So, like, but honestly, I'll admit, he was actually he was fun here, he was good, so, honestly, James Gunn managed to make me like actors I don't like, so nice job there, Gunn. And of course, also a bunch of other new characters that are played by a bunch of James Gunn's friends and pals, like Michael Rooker and Nathan Fillion, and also his brother Sean Gunn's in the film, as a bunch of other characters. It's filled to the brim with so many, like, just less known characters, and it's great. The film also, like, the action itself in this movie is great. Like, it's James Gunn at just, like, his most violent. Like, it's so great, and it's funny. He did another superhero movie a few years ago called Super, where, like, because for me, there are certain films, like, I'm good with, like, a lot of the very violent kind of stuff. Like, stuff that happens in this film, like, stuff like that. Like, I'm good with it, but it depends on sometimes, because sometimes I'm not a fan of it in certain films. Like, in Deadpool 2, when they have, like, that kind of violent gore when they're killing off all of, like, the X-Force characters. I thought that was funny and worked great because it was for a joke purpose and it worked well for the scene, I thought. It was great there. But in other films like I just mentioned, Super, there's some violent gore stuff in that film which was a bit too much for me in that one. I feel like it didn't work there. So it depends for me sometimes in movies whether or not I like it or not. Here I thought it was great. Like the violence was very creative a lot of time with how some of the characters killed some of the other people, and like just very violent and gory. Like some of the stuff was like almost like Mortal Kombat kind of fatalities, almost like it was that kind of like violent at times. So it was kind of insane, and the action was it was overall great. Like seeing like stuff that King Shark did, or seeing like that one scene when Peacemaker and Bloodsport are just like going through that like camp, just killing off some people. Like that was just a lot of fun and crazy, insane stuff. It was like really cool. And Bloodsport also, I really dug his costume, how like you can just take a piece of metal off it and like it forms into like a gun thing, and it was like really, really cool. I like that a lot. But also the cinematography and visuals of the film also, again, also just they're fantastic. Like they really are. There's a lot of great shots. Like there's some great shots when the team was like kind of just walking through the forest. You have the sunset casting some light. That looked great. There's that one great shot that is in all the marketing and trailers of like the squad. They're like just like walking in slow motion in like this really heavy rain that it's so heavy that it's just pure white around them, and like that one scene there looks great. Like this is one action sequence with Harley like breaking out of this place and like killing a couple guys. There's some great visuals and some also like great just cinematography there too. Like a lot of great cinematography. And and the visual also of Harley, it was also shown in the trailers, was, when she's like fighting off those people, she has all those like flowers and dandelions, like cartoon birds flying around her. That really weirdly worked. It worked really well. I thought it was kind of fun. I imagine that's something kind of Harley would imagine her. I don't know, it worked well. I thought it was fun. It was really cool. Just a lot of that stuff was really great, honestly. And also just like all the writing of the script was great, all the performances were great, like all the camaraderie between all the characters was great, especially with our returning characters. There's like a great camaraderie, and you can tell a friendship between Harley and Rick Flag. Like when she talks to Rick Flag, you see there's a good like friendship. They've known each other already for a few years. They've probably been on a couple of Suicide Squad missions by this point in between the two movies. Same with her and Captain Boomerang. They've probably been on a few missions before as well since the first one. You really feel a great camaraderie between them. There's like a great friendship between them, and it's really nice and sweet. I really dug it. And also another thing, of course, being James Gunn, there's a soundtrack in the movie of a lot of great songs. some great songs. Like immediately when the film opens, there's a Johnny Cash song, and it's like, all right, yeah, give me a good soundtrack already. So like, and it's a great soundtrack, honestly. So like, he always nails it. It's just great. So, but yeah, that's my general thoughts on the movie there. To go into now the spoiler section now. So yeah, if you don't want to hear spoilers, click away. You can skip. Bleh, God damn it. You can skip to maybe this time code I'll put in the video to the ending of the video where you can see my overall complete thoughts and like my rank, what I rate the film and such. So yeah, skip to here and such. But yeah, the film, of course, being the Suicide Squad, characters die. Like a lot of characters in this film die. Whereas the first film was really scared to do that. Like they only killed Slipknot. I mean, they killed him and El Diablo, but Slipknot was killed very quickly, and he was a character kind of everyone predicted was getting killed. This one, you have no idea who's going to get killed. Like at the beginning of the film, the whole film starts with them infiltrating and like Bialia, and there's like two different Suicide Squad teams. So Amanda Waller sends, of course, two teams to the island, to the shore, to like infiltrate for the plan. There's of course the main team led by Bloodsport, and with also Peacemaker, King Shark, Polka Dot Man, and Ratcatcher 2. But then there's the decoy team that led by Rick Flag, which he didn't know about, which features a slew of other characters, like of course Harley and Captain Boomerang, Savant, played by Michael Rooker, TDK, or the detachable kid, played by Nathan Fillion. There's Javelin. There's Black Guardsman, or I think was it Blackguard or Black Guardsman? I think it was Black Guardsman. There's Mongal, and there's also the Weasel, played by Sean Gunn, which is, of course, he casts his brother again as the animal character. Like he's the on-set double for Rocket and Guardians, and now he's a giant weasel, which is funny. But like, everyone besides like Rick Flag and Harley Quinn in that opening sequence dies. Like I was especially surprised by Captain Boomerang dying. I was like, oh, you're not even killing him? Like he's one of the only characters left from the first film, and also he's a main part of the squad most of the time in the comics. Like he's almost in every incarnation. Like in a lot of those animated films about the Suicide Squad, he's a part of the team. So like I was shocked when they killed him off, but yeah, every other character in that opening sequence kills in some very violent ways. Like Javelin gets shot a couple times. Mongal crashes a helicopter and gets like just burned alive. It's insane. And TDK, or the detachable kid, like has arms come off and starts flying over to some men, starts hitting them, and they shoot his arms a lot, and then he starts falling on the floor, spazzing while his arm gets shot. Black Guardsman sold them out, and then to the people they're about to attack on the island or country, whatever. Sorry. And they just shoot him right in the face and blows his face off. It's gory, messed up. What else? And Captain Boomerang gets impaled by a bunch of shrapnel from the helicopter crashing, and then the helicopter blades just rip him apart. Which was, again, surprising, but Harley has a quick line where she just looks at Boomerang before he dies and shouts Boomer. And I'm like, it was a quick scene where, again, like you actually do feel like that sadness for Harley, like she's losing a friend there and such, and it sucks. That was actually sad a bit there for Harley. And again, like, it was a really gruesome scene. Even Savant, like, he started just running away because he couldn't handle this. It was too insane. So he started trying to leave the island. So then Amanda Waller just blows his head off. So, but it was so messed up. And like, that's another thing I want to mention about the film. One thing I liked a lot with the movie is the way they handle like title cards saying stuff. Like very creative ways they would do it. Like when Savant's head blows up, the blood in the water starts forming Warner Brothers Pictures Presents. Or there's another part where a van that has Peacemaker, Bloodsport, and Rick Flag crashes at one point, and they get out, and then the fire from the van forms like their mission plan. They're saying time to commence the next part of the mission, and like the fire then forms the title card of what they were about to do. I found it very clever and fun, and of course, also like Harley and Rick, they survive the opening, but Rick doesn't survive for long because he gets killed easily later on in the movie. In Peacemaker, we learn, of course, the main villain of the film is Starro. He's astronauts years ago found him, and it took him to Earth, and the Thinkers have been running experiments on him for years and such. And Starro's had his like little starfish drone things capture a bunch of people, and Thinkers been experimenting on them, and like Flag finds out about this and like learns that even Waller knew about this, and the mission was really mainly to recover all this information so that it doesn't get out, so they can destroy it, so the world does not know about it. And Rick Flag's pissed about this because he's like, I want to serve my country, not do this like crap. So he tries to take in the information, but then Peacemaker was told to stop him at all costs by Waller. They get into a fight, which also cool visuals also in cinematography in the fight where, I mean, it's a strip just because they're both regular guys, so it's a straight up like just brawl, and it's like it's brutal. It looks great, and it's that great one shot how the fight begins where like Peacemaker's helmet is like has fallen off, so it's just sitting on the ground. And so as they're fighting the first shot, you see the camera slowly pan around like his helmet, which it's a very shiny reflective helmet, so you see the fight in the helmet, which I thought that's a cool little idea. I like that shot. And you know he kills Rick Flag. Unfortunately, again I was shocked and sad by that. I was like, ah, damn, Rick's even dead, man. And again, like I said, that's the Mortal Kombat fatality thing. Like he takes one of these like bathroom tiles and just stabs it right through his like chest, and you see like inside his heart, go right through his heart. Like it's what a Mortal Kombat X-ray basically. It was like so messed up. I was like, oh my god, like it was gruesome. And like, and again, it was even sad when Harley talks about how, you know, Rick was my friend and such after he dies, and I'm like, man, that's sad. And it was sad to see those characters all go. Like they were original characters in the film, but they're gone now. And you know, even Starro, of course, he also kills the Thinker in a very brutal fashion. And Starro was also messed up. I've seen him before in like Batman Brave and the Bold, but he's messed up here. Like when he sends drones to your face, like they melt your face. They basically kill you when they attach to you. Like it's messed up. But it's crazy. Like I don't know, it's great. It's crazy. But also, of course, Peacemaker then tries killing Ratcatcher because she then takes the information that Rick was trying to recover. And he's about to kill her, but then Bloodsport kills Peacemaker instead and such, or doesn't kill him actually. But the great shot where they shoot 2 bullets at one another, or 1 bullet at one another, and his bullets are smaller like Bloodsport, so it goes right through his massive bullets and goes right through his neck. Great shot. And of course they fight Starro. Starro kills Polka Dot Man. And it's a great joke in the movie how Polka Dot Man sees everyone as his mother, so it makes it easy for him to kill people because he hates his mother. So we see Starro with a giant version of his mother. It's funny, and you know it's really great. There's like also a great joke in the movie where they had this one guy they met who was helping throughout. I forget exactly what he was doing, but they met this one guy who was like doing stuff related with the government, and he agrees to help them because he didn't like doing that. I forget exactly what he was doing again. Sorry, but his name was Milton, and Milton. Like, he stuck around for a good chunk of the movie, and I'm like, why is Milton still with them? Like, what's the point of having Milton around? And he gets killed when they were storming the building that the plant bombs at to explode that has Starro captive in. And Polka Dot Man's like, oh my god, they killed Milton! And Bloodsport's like, Milton was still with us? He's like, yeah, he was with us the whole time. He's like, what was Milton gonna do though? I thought he was in the van! Like, and I'm like, alright, that's funny. He kept him around just to do that joke. Even Harley was like, who is Milton? I don't even remember Milton. Like, it was quite funny. I forgot to mention also the Weasel. The Weasel has my favorite scenes in the movie, which is, like, when he dies, like, he drowns. Like, immediately when he jumps out of the plane to the water, he drowns, like, immediately. It's funny. So, and they hold in that scene for a while of him just drowning. I'm like, this is funny. It's really great. And they drag him to shore. And you think he's dead, but then the whole movie goes by, the final scene of the film, we cut back to Weasel, he coughs up the water, and he's fine, he's alive. He kind of just sits up, looks around, and he just kind of just runs off like, like it was really, that got me the most in the film out of every joke. It was hilarious. Like, and the noises he makes also didn't help. It was him just going, like, just, it was so, like, the Weasel had those two seemed the Weasel the funniest stuff in the movie for me, personally. Oh my god, it was so great. But also, like, the fight with Starro, again, also, you know, it wasn't, I mean, the fight with Starro at the end wasn't terrible. It was fine. It wasn't too great compared to the rest of the movie. You know, it was cool. There was some cool stuff that was happening in it. It was fun. There was a great part where, like, the rat catcher summons all the rats in the city, and I just the kill like the Starro was messed up, and I also traumatized him for Bloodsport because his father would usually. If he disobeyed him, he would lock him in a room full of rats when he was a kid, so he's traumatized with rats, so by the end of the film, he actually warms up the rats and like actually starts petting her pet rat, Sebastian, which is very, very funny, so I thought that was cool. And fun fact also, the pet, Sebastian the rat in the film was voiced by D. Bradley Baker, who's a known voice actor for a lot of things. He's all the clone troopers in Star Wars: The Clone Wars. He's Perry the Platypus in Phineas and Ferb. He's Daffy Duck in the original Space Jam. Like, he's been in a lot of things. So I was like, that was D. Bradley Baker? Oh my god. I thought that was great. But of course, there's an after credits scene in the movie where we learn Peacemaker's not dead. Like, he actually survived and such. And of course, he's in a hospital right now, and 2 members of Waller's like units are taking care of him for now. She sticks him with them for disobeying her orders because she told Task Force just let Starro destroy the country. Like, it's not important, just let it die. And they're like, they decide, nah, screw this, and they want to go stop it. And her men just like knock her out with a golf club and help out the squad, telling them, go here, try and stop them. So, because she was gonna blow up their head because she didn't care if Starro destroyed the country. She was about to blow up their head and such, but then they said, no, like, we're gonna let them stop the monster. So, I guess they're all good guys now, or such. Who knows? Yeah, of course, she then sticks them with those guys with Peacemaker, the deal with him, which will lead into his TV series coming out in this January. So, I'm excited to see how that goes and what that's about. So, but yeah, like, honestly, this was a great movie. Like, it's probably a longer film review than I thought it would be, but like, I mean, I didn't waste too much time, I don't think. But who knows? I'll see in the edit. But yeah. I love this film. It was just great. It's great. I have a hard time just articulating how to say what I thought of the film because it's fantastic. Like I said, it's messed up, beautiful, action-packed, hilarious goodness. It's great. I highly recommend going to see this film. It's just awesome. Like, I'm definitely picking this up on DVD and Blu-ray. It's a lot of fun. This movie, it's amazing. I can't wait. I hope James Gunn does another Suicide Squad film because this was fantastic. My only major problem, like, not even major problem, just like minor flaws was, of course, the final fight with Starro wasn't that great. It was fine, and there were once in a while there was a joke that didn't work, but most jokes worked very well. There were a lot of jokes in the film, like 95% of the jokes worked amazingly. They were great, hilarious, laugh out jokes. So overall, I gave this film a 9 out of 10. I thought it was just a fantastic movie. Like I said, go check it out. I highly recommend it. It's just great. I love it. So, yeah. That's my review of the Suicide Squad. More than likely Suicide Squad 3, because the first one was called Suicide Squad. This is the Suicide Squad. Next one we call it a Suicide Squad, probably. I guess I also forgot to mention this film is not a remake or reboot. Not remake, but it's not a reboot of the series. It is a sequel to the first one. But they don't really address it. It's just another mission. They don't need to address the last film. It's just another mission. So, yeah. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Tell me in the comment section down below what did you think of the Suicide Squad, and be mindful of spoilers also. So, yeah. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys later for the next episode of Geek Culture Talk. So, yeah. See you guys all later. Goodbye.